Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. I'm still on vacation, so my good friend Corey is filling in today. Now, if you're subscribed to him over at Corey's Datapad, you may have already seen this video, but I thought it was worth further sharing. So without further ado, I'll let the man speak. However, if you are interested in more excellent Star Wars Legends content from Corey, I'll put the link to his channel down in the description. Personally, he's my favorite Star Wars Legends YouTuber. I watch all of his videos, and if you go subscribe, you'd be doing me personally a huge favor. Anyway, roll it.
When Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine died at Endor, it seemed like it was the end of the Sith. But a few groups and individuals continued to attempt to resurrect the Sith Order, and today we're going to talk about one of the people with the best claim to the tradition of Darth Bane's Rule of Two, the Dark Lady Lumiya. This topic was requested by SWilson19 on the Discord server, which is linked in the description. There are a bunch of other requested videos I'll be getting to, but I've been doing a lot of Legacy of the Force related stuff lately, so this one seemed to fit really well with that. Lumiya was born on Coruscant after the Empire had been declared, although the exact year is unknown. After being identified as Force-sensitive at an early age, she was raised in the Imperial Palace on Coruscant and was inducted into a program for indoctrinating children run by the Commission for the Preservation of the New Order, or COMPNOR, a broad organization involving many wide-reaching programs of propaganda and policing to encourage support for the new Imperial regime. After excelling in these programs, Shira Brie gained the attention of Darth Vader, who had her transferred to Imperial Intelligence and would take a direct role in her training, teaching her in secret during the night. As part of her early training, Brie became proficient in many martial arts, and was top of her class in the Coruscanti Pilot Institute by 2 years before the Battle of Yavin, or BPY, and was the subject of body modifications, increasing her ability to withstand pain and to heal. Over this time, she developed a deep affection for Darth Vader as her mentor that shaped her opinion of him much later in her life, defending him as, quote, a sad man whose one love in life had died, and whose one anchor to the world of the living was, yes, a galaxy-conquering madman. As she completed her military training on Krita a year after the Battle of Yavin, Brie was involved in a training exercise where her and other cadets were using mountain terrain scout transports against a training squad, and Brie's MTST had been armed with live lasers, resulting in her killing 6 cadets and destroying multiple walkers. This incident was covered up as instructor error. Upon her graduation, she was given the rank of Major by Vader, and began running missions for Imperial Intelligence Director Jacen Solo in addition to her training with Vader. After proving herself and her abilities, and in the aftermath of the Rebel victory at Yavin destroying the Death Star, Shira Brie was given a new major assignment to infiltrate the rebellion and either kill Luke Skywalker, whoever that is, or to get him somehow ostracized from the rebellion. Darth Vader and Shira Brie concocted a backstory for her, where she claimed to be from a planet called Shalivane, where humans were oppressed and then wiped out by a species called the Emily in cooperation with the Empire. According to their story, this drove Shira to join the rebellion and want to fight the Empire. In reality, the Emily civilization had been forced off-planet by the Empire. To go along with this story, Vader also had ordered the destruction of Kinshasa, her alleged home city on Shalivane. The rebellion, who was in dire need of personnel, especially talented fighter pilots like Brie, took her in and eventually she worked her way up to the rank of lieutenant, in an assignment to the famous Rogue Squadron. Her first mission with Luke himself involved the trip to Cloud City on Bespin to find Lando. After Luke negotiated with an arms dealer, Orion Ferret, to secure 4 TIE fighters for the Rebel Alliance later on, Shira Brie was selected as one of the people to accompany him. After the completion of this mission, and the trip to Brie's false homeworld of Shalivane, where Brie saved her allies, including Luke, from an Emily attack, Brie was granted a commendation and a promotion to the rank of captain, but not the rank of master.
This is outrageous.
Having gained the trust and respect of the Rebel Alliance according to the plan she had concocted with Vader, Brie was going to accompany Luke to assault an Imperial escort for a Titzel, a creature which could be used to amplify communications capabilities. They planned to use their stolen TIE fighters to go undercover, and then sabotage the Imperial mission. After the rebels successfully began their assault, The Imperial Admiral in command of the escort, Mills Geel, used the Tietzel to disrupt communications between the rebel forces. With their communications down, Brie intended to kill Skywalker, but instead of killing him, Luke used the Force to guide him when he saw a TIE fighter he couldn't identify, and accidentally shot down Brie, whom the Force had told him was an enemy. Luke and Brie had actually developed a romantic interest in each other before this mission, having kissed right before they had left. In addition to being distraught over what he had done, he was removed from the Alliance military, believing him to have shot down a friendly force. He was later reinstated when he discovered records proving Brie's true mission within the Alliance. But back to Lumiya. Although Shira Brie had completed her mission with respect to discrediting Luke successfully by the year 4 ABY, it came at a great physical cost to herself. And considering her relationship with Luke, in later comments, probably an emotional one as well, as some level of her attachment to Luke did seem to have been genuine, depending on which authors were writing her future appearances. Like her master Darth Vader, who had begun teaching the woman now known as Lumiya the ways of the Sith, her survival involved significant use of cybernetics. Vader introduced his new apprentice to Palpatine for his approval, and Lumiya became one of the Emperor's hands, a group of powerful Force sensitives who worked directly for the Emperor, which included individuals like Luke's future wife, Mara Jade, and ace pilot Merrick Steele. The last part of her training to complete was the construction of her weapon on the ancient Sith world of Ziost. Instead of the traditional lightsaber, Lumiya constructed a unique light whip, which in addition to its energy aspects included physical strands and was constructed from Mandalorian Beskar, a unique material which could resist collision with lightsabers. However, while she was on Ziost, Vader and Palpatine were both killed in the rebel assault on the second Death Star over Endor. Following the death of Vader and Palpatine, Lumiya claimed the title of Dark Lady of the Sith for herself, and acquired a Sith holocron from an ancient Sith overlord, or Sith Ari, named Adas. She also began amassing her own small Imperial fleet, who she kept mostly ignorant of the collapsing Empire outside of their own small force. Lumiya over this period became heavily involved in two invading, warring factions from outside the galaxy, the Nagai and the Tof, whom she hoped to use to exact her vengeance on the rebels. However, the specifics of that war and her involvement with them, while an important part of her life, are probably better left to a dedicated video on that war, so we'll be focusing more on the main goals in her later life, attempting to resurrect the Sith Order and the search for an apprentice. Lumiya was a strong believer in the rule of two, started by Darth Bane, which said there could only ever be one Sith Master and one apprentice, although there were often other Dark Jedi who served each of the Sith Lords, especially under the rule of Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. Lumiya's first apprentice was a former stormtrooper from Belderone, who had also been trained by Vader, named Flint. Flint's apprenticeship was short-lived, as he faced Luke soon after he began his training with Lumiya on a planet named Naldor. During this confrontation with Luke, he abandoned Lumiya and her Sith teachings. Over the following period, which involved heavy losses for her forces in the Nagai-Tof War, she did also keep some connection to the Imperial leadership as well. She had re-established contact with Issanisard, who she had served under as an intelligence agent and who was the de facto leader of the Empire at this point. Isard granted Lumiya some forces to replace her losses, which Isard hoped would prevent Lumiya from challenging her own leadership. With the loss of Flint, Lumiya also had to find a new candidate to be her Sith apprentice and re-establish their rule over the galaxy. To fill this role, she chose the Force-sensitive Royal Guard, Karnor Jax, who was among the forces assigned to Lumiya by Isard. While completing other missions for Isard, including attempting to hunt down Mara Jade, Karnor and Lumiya attempted to infiltrate the Imperial Ruling Council. Karnor was able to successfully exert his influence over the ruling council to the point of being appointed Emperor for a short time after the return of Palpatine himself and his final defeat. Unfortunately for Lumiya, although Sith being Sith, it's questionable how long the arrangement would have lasted before Karnor attempted to unseat her as his master, Karnor was killed by Kir Kanos, another royal guard. With her immediate plans ruined, Lumiya retreated to Korriban for over a decade. With the 25 ABY invasion of the Yuuzhan Vong, Lumiya learned of another group of Sith on Korriban, the One Sith, run by a Tusken former Jedi turned Sith named A'Sharad Het, who had been captured by the Yuuzhan Vong and abandoned by another Fosh Jedi turned Sith named Vergir. Vergir, like Lumiya, believed the rule of two had to be maintained, hence her abandonment of Het to the Vong torture. Het, who would later go on to rule the galaxy as Darth Krayt, believed that it would take many Sith acting in unison to establish control. Het sent an escort to bring Lumiya to them. However, the escort, consisting of two Sith named Lomi Plo and Welk, was captured by the Yuuzhan Vong while Lumiya escaped. Lumiya would soon meet the Sith, who abandoned Het to the Vong, Vergir herself, and the two quickly began plans to restore the Sith of their own, in accordance with the rule of two which Het eschewed. Lumiya finished the Sith training started by Vader under Vergir, and both believed that they needed to find a new people to train as a Sith apprentice, who could rule the galaxy and end the wars which had ravaged it for decades. After considering many options, they landed on one who satisfied all of their criteria, for a Force user who had shown some capacity for restraint and empathy, but also for wielding extreme power. This people was Jacen Solo, the son of Han and Leia Solo, and the nephew of Luke Skywalker. During the ill-fated mission to Mercure by a Jedi strike force consisting of Jacen, his twin Jaina, and their brother Anakin, along with various other young Jedi, which claimed many of their lives, Vergir captured Jacen and began to train him while he was held prisoner by the Yuuzhan Vong, whose trust Vergir had gained. Although Vergir did not reveal to Jacen her true intentions, she did shape his opinion of the Force and open him to the possibilities of ideas of the Force beyond a dark and light dichotomy, leading to some controversy over whether she was truly a Sith, which, out of universe, was only established much later on. When Jaina was in danger later in the war after Jacen escaped captivity with Vergir, in 28 ABY, Jacen attempted to save her, and Vergir sacrificed herself to ensure the prize apprentice survived, leaving Lumiya alone to execute their vision for the Sith. Over a decade later, by the year 40 ABY, Lumiya had taken over the former home of another Sith Lord, Darth Vader, near the planet Bimiel. She set up a puzzle to lure Jacen, now a full Jedi Knight, with Luke's son Ben Skywalker as an apprentice, to her. She was also heavily involved in manipulating events to further push the Corellians and other disenfranchised members of the Galactic Alliance towards open rebellion. Lumiya believed that a galaxy at war was necessary for Jacen to accept his role as a Sith Emperor, and for the galaxy to accept Jacen in that role as well. When Jacen was finally lured to Lumiya, under the guise of a woman named Brisha Sio, hiding her true identity from Jacen, he was accompanied by his apprentice Ben and another Jedi named Nalani Din. Eventually, Lumiya convinced the three to meet her at the home of Darth Vader, who she claimed she had brought them there to defeat. Lumiya used the Force to separate Nalani and Ben from Jacen. After testing Jacen with the Force Phantom of Luke in combat, Lumiya explained her history to Jacen, and that she hoped Jacen would become a Sith Lord himself. Nalani Din then joined them and attempted to stop Lumiya, attacking her, but Lumiya was saved by Solo himself, who killed Din and agreed to rejoin Lumiya on his own to learn the teachings of the Sith, believing that it was the only way to save the galaxy, including his uncle, after witnessing visions while Nalani was fighting Lumiya. Jacen's whole character arc is actually one of my favorite in Star Wars, and I really want to examine it in depth and explain why I think it's one of the best handled in the expanded universe. But this is already quite a long video, and it starts becoming more about Jacen than Lumiya at this point, so I'll really just touch on a few of the more important parts to Lumiya here, before we end the video. Jacen moved Lumiya, now his Sith Master, to Coruscant, and eventually took the title of Darth Caedus himself, installing himself as the Joint Chief of State along with the Supreme Commander of the Galactic Alliance forces, Chon Neothal, who would replace Gilad Pellaeon. Luke and the Jedi eventually learned of Jacen's turn towards Lumiya and the dark side, and although Jacen was able to kill Mara in a brutal duel on the planet Kavan, cementing Jacen's fall to the dark side, In order to help turn Luke's attention away from Jacen, Lumiya claimed that it was actually she who had killed Luke's wife, allowing Luke to track her to Terraphon and dueling him for one last time, ending with him decapitating her. Although Lumiya had been killed, and Jacen was also soon to be killed by Jaina, the Sith did eventually rule the galaxy, although it was under the leadership of Asherad Het, whom both Lumiya and Vergir had abandoned or ignored as opposed to their protege. Again, I'd love to do a deeper dive on Jacen, but that will probably be a much longer video than even this. So for now, I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Dark Lady of the Sith, Lumiya. If you have any suggestions for future topics, please leave them in the comments, on the Discord server, or on the community page on the channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.